Hello and welcome to Talking Golf with Gary. This week, the dynamic Gary will introduce you to all kinds of topics pertinent to this past week of golf. He'll give you some tidbits of information as what's coming up and take you on a tour around the world for all of the golfing highlights. Sit back and enjoy Talking Golf with Gary.
And hello and welcome to another edition of Talking Golf with Gary. Hope everybody had a nice couple of weeks out there. Hey, it's the Masters is in the books for 2019, and congratulations to Tiger Woods. What a masterful performance. It was a terrific tournament to watch, even down to the final day. The excitement, the strategy, the mishaps, the pressure, everything came out on that back nine at Augusta, and Tiger, of course, was able to weather the storm using his experience, his knowledge of the course, and just his knowledge of winning, and so great to see him back on top of his game. Does this mean he's all the way back? Who knows? Who knows? He could rip off a bunch of victories now. He could win the Grand Slam this year. Who knows? But to struggle back to this point from where he had been in his life with the personal issues and with the injuries and the operations and the rehab and all of that, to struggle through and fight through all of that, to come back and to once again be a major champion is really a story to be told. And at his age, 43, to win it's just an incredible story. And, now the talk starts again. Can he catch Nicklaus? He's got 15 majors now. He's got 3 more to tie, 4 more to win. Can he do it? Still going to be pretty tough. He lost those 11 years there where he didn't win one. If he had picked up 1 or 2 in that time span, it'd be a whole different conversation. But again, who knows? Who knows? He could whip off, like I said, he could win the Grand Slam this year. And for those players that said they weren't intimidated by him, I think you have to go back and rewatch that round, because as he got closer, they started getting nervous. And he was there the whole 4 days. And look, he's still an intimidating factor. It's just the fact that he knows the course. He knows how to win. He knows how to handle the pressure on a big day. And he just took that philosophy and hung back and waited for the mistakes to come and then capitalized on it. And it was just a great performance. And so hats off to Tiger Woods on a masterful championship. Got a great guest, so I don't want to take a lot more time. I'm going to take a break and get back to my guest. And then we'll take a look at next week's actions and the usual stuff. And that's going to happen as soon as I can get this going here. That's going to happen right after this.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com.
My guest this week is Bobby Dimeo. He is the co-founder and CEO and everything else at Short Par 4. Short Par 4 is a subscription service, but I'll let Bobby explain it more to you. He probably knows more than I'll ever know. Bobby, thanks for coming on Talking Golf with Gary.
Thanks for having me, Gary. How's it going?
It's going great. And Bobby, so explain to the folks, What exactly is Short Par 4?
Short Par 4 is a monthly golf subscription of golf apparel and accessories. We base it off of a couple different things, style being the main thing, and then also geographical location. We really want to make sure that we're sending the right apparel at the right time of the year to the right people. So, like I said, style is very important, and we want to make sure the guy in Arizona isn't getting a pair of pants in June. So.
Or the guy in New York isn't getting shorts in December.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how did you get this idea, and how did you get started in the whole thing?
It's interesting. Subscriptions has been around for a long time, obviously, with magazines, the old CD clubs, all of that. And then, there's a couple different, companies that started doing, obviously, subscription like Dollar Shave Club, and a few others that were out there. Kind of, I guess you can call them trendsetters. And so we just basically took a look at all the different models that were out there at the time, pretty much 5 years ago now, and came up with the idea that, hey, look, there's got to be a better way to get golf apparel to people. We'll launch with men only. Men don't like to shop. How do we grow the game for younger people to get apparel cheaper? The game's expensive, and, we get that. So, we kind of took all those different ideas, put them together into one, and created Short Par 4.
And it must have been a lot of work trying to get trying to get the companies involved. How did that work? I mean, you really before you had a reputation, it must have been tough trying to get your feet in the door with those guys.
It definitely was. It's interesting because the typical male golfer out there, loves their brands, right? They love the Nikes, Adidas's, Under Armour, Puma, Callaways. And, those are really the brands that didn't really want to start with you because you were the new company. So it was important for us to be able to show, that we're really into style, making sure our members, like I said, are getting the right product. And honestly, going to the companies that were willing to work with us. We tried to work with everyone. Obviously, the interesting part was, we got some answers right away. They were like, no, you're not right for our distribution and all this stuff. And it was all from the big brands, the Under Armours and, Adidas, Pumas of the world. And, honestly, today those are our best vendors. We stick to it. There might have been a few little fabrications in there of telling people how many members we had, just to be able to show that we can move a large amount of product. But it all worked out, and so here we are. I mean, I guess being persistent was key.
Well, that goes true in any business. I think you have to fabricate just a little bit now and then.
Yeah, exactly. And just hope they don't catch you.
Yeah, right.
But it makes for a good story at the end.
There you go. Now, you have different levels of the memberships. I think there's 3 or 4. Could you just tell the folks about that, about the basic, and well, you explain it.
Yeah, totally. So the basic membership is the Fairway membership. That's kind of our introductory membership to Short Par 4. It's $50 a month. And what we do there is we guarantee a minimum of $100 of retail value. Typically that box has 2 to 4 items. We try to do, 1 to 2 main apparel pieces, and then an accessory or 2 to go with it. So, at $50, they're probably, most members are getting anywhere from $100 to $140, $150 worth of retail value. So it's, it's a really good deal. The value is definitely a play in that box. The executive box is the next level up, $99 a month. And that's a little bit different angle or approach to golf apparel. That one typically has brands that are more associated with an executive member. Whether it's Polo, RLX, Galvin Green, those types of brands. And some of the fairway box brands are included, like Travis Matthew, Link Soul, those types of things. But typically it's a different. The experience is $99. It's not about a value; it's about a service. You're going to get styled. You're going to get the ability to exchange something if it's not right. There's those types of things are coming in that fairway box, or I'm sorry, the executive box. Usually, same thing, 2, 3, 4 items. It's a full outfit or, shoes, polo, belt, that type of thing. And the next level up from there is the Ricky Fowler box. We're fortunate enough last year to partner with Ricky Fowler. He's obviously a great ambassador for the game, obviously big into style. So we have a $125 a month box with Ricky Fowler, and it's all Ricky's brand sponsors in that box. So, a couple things we did, like, last year we did a U.S. Open at signed flag from Shinnecock.
Wow.
In that box. He wore a custom Puma P hat on Sunday at the U.S. Open. That hat was in the box as well. We've branded his polos where they're just like his. I mean, you have all his logos on them and everything. We've also put stuff in there that's not logoed or fully branded because some people don't want, every polo to be fully logoed.
Right.
So it's a cool experience. I mean, it's different. We've had Cobra wedges in the box that were stamped just like how Ricky stamps his wedges.
Wow.
To, now his new deal with TaylorMade, we'll have balls and gloves in there. So really, that's a much different experience. It's definitely a Ricky Fowler fan. But if you're a fan of golf and you're a collector too, I mean, that's the other thing there is, we do a lot of one-off, exclusive products in that box, apparel he wears at the majors. And then this year, what we're doing is we're going to be giving away a bag because he uses a different bag, obviously, for each major. So we're going to be giving away a bag to each Ricky Fowler, or to a Ricky Fowler member, sorry, not each one, but one lucky member will win his actual tour bag that he's using in each major. So those are the three main boxes. We're going to be announcing here shortly. We will be coming out with the Short Par 4 women's experience as well. So we're super excited about that as we have now partnered with Lexi Thompson. To be our global ambassador for the women's side. So a lot of exciting things.
So you went from not being able to get certain companies in to getting big names in now as your representative. That's great.
Yeah, it's they're door openers. It was very interesting. We signed Ricky last year in March, and I mean the number of phone calls that came pouring in of people that wanted to do business with us was insane. So we're very fortunate, for Short Par 4 to have probably two of the best golf ambassadors you can have, in Ricky and Lexi.
Well, I think what's great about that, too, is I'm an old guy, so it doesn't really matter. I'm 66, but I know the kids, Ricky Fowler, I'm a fan of his, but he also appeals to another generation, the younger people, and now Lexi Thompson, same thing. They appeal to those millennials and to a younger generation, and as you say, he's very big with the fashion and everything. Though sometimes, orange doesn't look good on me. So
yeah, you'd be surprised at the people that want to wear orange.
Well, you were kind enough to send me a box so I could give people a little bit of an idea of what's in a box. And for those watching on the video, is a hat in this box with the short par 4 logo, which is beautiful, by the way. And it's a great looking hat. And as I was telling Bobby before we went on the recording, that I'm a hat guy, so this is perfect for me.
Yep. No, I'm actually a mind reader in my night job.
You know, I think you are, Bobby, because I'll tell you what. You also, I also got a beautiful Callaway shirt here, and I do play Callaway, so you were right on the money there.
I love it.
And a beautiful pair of nice lightweight shorts that I'll be wearing come this summer. And so that's just a brief idea of what you get in these packages. And I know one of the other things that you're known for, too, is the poker chips. Tell us about that. How did that get started?
It was actually pretty funny. So one month we were looking for an inexpensive item that we can throw in the box, just to add a little bit more value. And this probably started about 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And, so we reached out to a bunch of different companies that did them and, had been playing golf at other places. And everyone's selling these poker chip ball markers. And
right.
So we started drafting up some, CAD designs of what they look like and all that. And so I think we did them for about 3 or 4 months in a row. And all of a sudden we, as every new company does, you go back and you start looking at your numbers and you say, wow, those poker chips cost X. And, if I cut the poker chips out, it's going to be a big savings over the next 4 years. And, do people really value the poker chip? And you start thinking about it. So we stopped doing them. And the amount of emails that came in and Facebook messages and all the Instagram comments and everything else was just like, hey, add those back in. What are you doing? Like, that's one of the most exciting things about it. And I was like, well, okay. So sure enough, we put a poker chip in every month. And, one of the cool things about it is we get pictures from our members of them. They put them together in collages and put them, people have framed, 40 ball markers or 25 ball markers and put them up on their offices. They've taken pictures of their ball marker when they travel to play golf, and we have pictures of people playing golf in Ireland or Scotland, Asia, wherever they may be, that took their poker chip with them. And so it's kind of a cool thing, right? Where in the world is short par 4 type of thing,
right?
So now we try to continue to get creative. Maybe around the holidays we create a holiday one, and we just did a Ricky Fowler one, with him. So there's some interesting ones. We've had some really cool quotes on there. From like Happy Gilmore, where it's like, "Are you too good for your home?" Mm-hmm. So that's on one side of it. Little sayings like "I will not 3-putt." Stuff like that.
Well, it is a great idea, and as you say, once you included it, you were hooked into it, boy.
Oh yeah. There was. I tell you, there's. I was blown away that they were received so well. So it's easy for us now. I mean, now we put them in there, and I just think it's great. I get to see where people are playing golf, and they're showcasing short par 4.
Terrific. Now, is this are you global, or are you around the world, or is it just U.S. and North America? How does it work? How does that work?
So we are international.
Mm-hmm.
We've launched international in end of 2017. There's a few places. We kind of segmented it out to start. It's like Canada, UK. We ship to Asia, and we start adding more places. Europe, things like that. We add more places every few months as we get requests. It's like, hey, you know what? We've had.
Right.
The beauty of the internet and analytics is it tells you, where people are seeing your ads and where people are seeing your website and all that stuff. So, when we go on there and look at a quarter and say, wow, there was, 4,000 people that came onto your page from some country, like what happened in Korea, it was like, okay, cool, let's open up in Korea, and all of a sudden the orders start coming in. So it's kind of cool to be able to take those analytics and, look back and say, okay, this is what we're going to do.
And of course, Korea is a big hotbed now for golf, as well as the rest of the Asia continent, as well as the Middle East too. As well, it's growing very quickly.
Yeah, that is. Actually, the Middle East is growing outrageously fast. Being for them hosting those tour events, they bring the LPGA there, they bring the PGA there. Or I think it's the European Tour even. But yeah, they are growing the game really fast, and especially when you start looking at like Dubai, places like that.
Right.
They got a ton of money. I was fortunate enough to travel there a few years back and play some golf there. It really is a great experience. Golf courses are in great shape. But there again, it is expensive, and expenses doesn't always help grow the game. So, Short Par 4, we're trying to figure out how to offer our members, better deals, not just on apparel, but other things, golf related, expand our community. So we're not just an apparel box.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned about some of the other subscription services, Dollar Shave Club and whatnot, and you do have some competition yourself in this golf industry. But do you think, do you feel that this is like the future of retail? Is this where we're going? I mean, it just seems that people are ordering more online, and it seems like, we've got the meals now where, they deliver you a meal or a week of meals and how to prepare it. And it just seems like in our society we're so busy that people are just more comfortable doing business this way. Do you think that's the future of retail?
I do think it's the future to a certain extent. I think we're going to see some evolution happening where certain industries will have more of an opportunity to dive in a little bit deeper into their customer and really understand what they want. And I think what will end up happening, as we continue to grow into this world of you're not going to have to leave your house, which isn't probably going to be a good thing. But, I think we're going to get to that point where things are just going to start showing up. And, if it's a little bit scary, right? Because, they're basically going to be able to tell you what you want before you know you want it. But, there is more to it, I think. I don't know if every mall in America is going to go away. But I think we're going to see a more direct-to-consumer feel at the mall. So you can go to the mall, you'll meet with someone, you kind of get styled with someone. It's just a different experience, than it was back in the day when I was younger, going, with my mom to the mall where you stop at the playground for a little bit, then she runs into Macy's and shops, it's just a different, that experience doesn't really happen as much anymore. And so I don't know, it's going to be interesting. I think in our space alone, I think what you'll see in golf is more direct to consumer. I can see companies like Dick's trying to move into that space, or even getting rid of the golf specific departments, in their stores, maybe having smaller retail stores. But yeah, I mean, I think, the direct-to-consumer industry is not going anywhere. I think it's just going to keep evolving.
Well, I know Ben Hogan Golf is doing that now. They're selling their clubs directly to the consumers online. So look, if it works, it works. Now, on your staff, do you have like fashion consultants? How does that work with how the makeup of a box? So
to stay ahead of the curve and, stay ahead of trends, we work with a lot of the brands' teams directly, which is great for us because we don't have to necessarily bring in those people to work every day with us. The brands each have their own marketing / style teams, and their jobs are to stay ahead of new trends and new colorways and things like that. So what we do is tie into what they're doing, and we're placing our orders 6-8 months ahead of time. So that's when they're placing their orders for the next season and things like that. So we get to piggyback off them a little bit, which is great for us at Short Par 4. We also do utilize we utilize Ricky, we utilize Lexi for their style opinions as well, especially in the Ricky box. A lot of people don't understand, don't believe it, but when I tell them that Ricky has, and his team, they have a say in what goes in the box. It's a direct reflection of his style. So, and then we do have a team here that, we call them style curators. When we do have a couple guys and ladies that when a box is being prepared, they're able to work with fulfillment and say, you know what, maybe that doesn't go with that on a couple of the boxes, and they're able to put in the human element to be able to style a certain box. And then we also do it for events as well. So that's pretty cool.
Well, it's a very fascinating concept, and I wish you all the best of luck with this. You've been not that you need it. You've been very successful so far with Short Par 4. Just tell the folks where they can get in touch with you and take a look at what you have to offer.
Yeah, definitely. Shortpar4.com is the website. Head over there to shortpar4.com. Check out, the different boxes, different offerings that we have. Check out our Facebook and Instagram pages. We are constantly putting out different deals, and we'd love to hear the feedback. Shoot us a message on any of the platforms, and we'll be sure to get back to you.
And I want to thank you for coming on today, and thanks for the box. And I got to tell you, folks, that this stuff is terrific. It's top quality. And, go check it out at shortpar4.com. And, Bobby, thanks so much for taking the time.
Gary, really appreciate it.
And I'll be back right after this.
Sponsor an ad on the podcast. Support our show and let people know about your business. Email us today.
516-362-0443. That is the Talking Golf Hotline. If you've got a question, a comment, or want to leave a voicemail, say hi. That's the number to call, 516-362-0443. Or if you'd like to leave an email, you can email the show at talkinggolf@gmail.com.
Now it's time to do the calendar. Now it's time to do the calendar. Hooray, let's sing the calendar. Now it's time to do the calendar.
Yes, it's what everybody waits for every week, and that is the calendar. I don't know if they do. I'm just making that up. But on the calendar for next week, following the Masters, the PGA will be in South Carolina to play the RPBC Heritage. Satoshi Kodiata is the defending champion there. And the Champions Tour is in action. They'll be playing the Mitsubishi Electric Classic. Steve Flesh defends that title. The European Tour is off. They're taking a bye week. And the LPGA is back in action. They will be playing the Lottie Championship. Brooke Henderson is the defending champion in that tilt. So check those out this week, as they will all be in action except for the European Tour. They're taking a little hiatus for a week or so. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. And I want to thank my guest, Bobby Dimeo, and I want to thank him for the really nice gift. And Short Par 4 is one of the best subscription services out there. We'll be investigating some other ones and doing some reviews on them as well as we hear from them. And along with some more reviews on golf balls. I did get to play the Avanti from Encore that Brett Blakely was on last week. I really like that ball. I want to test it a little bit more. Unfortunately, I had one sleeve. And my shot-making ability had a magnetism towards water. So I kind of lost the golf balls. But I think we've got some more coming. And we'll be testing those out. So, again, I want to thank Bobby Dimeo for coming on the show this week. And I want to thank you all for listening. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, Spreaker, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you listen to or watch the podcast. Hit the subscribe button. That helps me grow the show and expand to new listeners. And until next time, remember, as you walk down the fairway of life, you must smell the roses, for you only get to play one round. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time on another edition of Talking Golf with Gary.